Hello and welcome to Maze Does, and today I'm going to be talking about the con that I went to. I don't know if you can read that. DigiCon! Right up my boobs. This top is completely unflattering, by the way. Good choice there. I was mistaken for other people all day. But, yep, I was volunteering at DigiCon, as you guys probably saw the first episode of this series where I talked about some of the guests. The list of guests I've got over here that are the ones that spring to mind, a little bit of story about them, and just generally my impression of them, and all I can say is you've got to go out and meet these guys. I'm going to talk about some of the panels that I saw, and the three guests that I saved that I've not talked about, that I really want to talk about. So first, some of the panels that I saw that I would highly recommend for you guys. There was Mr. Simon Fisher-Beckers, who, like I said, was a blue guy in Doctor Who, and he's a slightly larger fellow. He was a large blue guy in Doctor Who. I feel bad for not knowing his character's name, but as he says, he's done a lot of stuff before that. He's done a lot of stuff after that. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, his show, my Dalek has a puncture. That is a very nice show. It's sort of an autobiography show where he talks about what got him into acting, what made him decide, and a little bit about his past, a little bit about his history, and all that stuff, which is really quite cool to listen to. And and this is a lot of. It's really intimate. It's a very intimate show, so you feel like you're meeting this gent and talking to him and getting to know him. You know, on a level, you're getting to know him, which is always really nice. What other panels stood out for me? I'm just trying to think of before I get to the big ones. There was the my mind's gone blank. There was a really nice YouTuber. I never caught his name, but his was Bad Fan Fiction Theatre. That's it. Bad Fan Fiction Theatre. Yeah, which was really funny. It was a guy who goes on the internet, finds a load of bad fan fiction, and does dramatic readings of them. It's really funny. I give him a check out. Unfortunately, I didn't get any links for him or anything, so I can't put him in this video. But well, there's some panels that I want to talk about which are connected to the guests. So I will talk about these guests now. The first one I want to talk about is a lady called Tiffany Grant, who is a anime voice actress, as well as she does where they make the scripts into English. Translations. She helps with the translations, and she helps with the localizations of Japanese scripts. But she started off as a voice actress. Now, I'll say that when I was on stage. I keep saying this, but the reason I say this is because I got to see a lot of celebrities when they were prepping themselves up, you know, when they're ready to go on stage, which is when most people are either in the zone, because I'm one of these, I perform at the drop of a hat, but I know some people like to get in the zone before they perform. So Tiffany was the first guest that I met while she was coming up to the stage. So I was nervous. I'd not really checked the sound system. I literally had to bosh it together and then pass the mic over and hope it worked. It did. But she was really nice. She made me feel at ease. The few technical hitches, because I explained, like, you're the first guest to have a real panel and be using the PA system, so I apologize if anything goes wrong here. I'll be over at the side. Just give me a shout and I'll twiddle the knobs. But she was really nice. We did a Q&A with her. She was really open. She was really honest. And it was nice to see someone, like I said, it was really intimate. Even though this wasn't like Simon Fisher-Beckers, I keep wanting to talk about another one, which is why I keep saying how. But My Dalek Has a Puncture. That was a sort of paid intimate thing. But this was... I don't know if it was probably because of the time it went on. It was on early in the morning. It was the first show of the con. Was Tiffany Grant's one, which I can't remember the name of the panel, but she is a lovely lady, and I was explaining to her, like, having a bit of a laugh because I had to reel out a couple of cables, and I was saying to her, like, "Oh, you guys excited?" And I was talking about the fact that I'd met another guest, one of the other two now that I've not said their name off, which I've got stuff over here that I want to show over there that I want to show you guys from. But I'd said that, and she said, "Oh my God, yeah, there's Peter Davidson here." She really wanted to meet Peter Davidson, one of the doctors. This is a celebrity. This is a voice actress that people like fell at her feet to see her fangirl over celebrity. So when Peter Davidson's panel came off, his Q&A, it was quite funny. Apparently, like, they'd literally sat Peter Davidson. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to have a look at the names. Yeah, Peter Davidson and Paul McGann. That's it. Sorry, I knew they were both P's, but I didn't want to get it all confused. But yeah, so as soon as Peter Davidson and Paul McGann sat down, we were like, I was just looking over the crowd, making sure everyone was all right. They did their sound checks, made sure everyone could hear them. And while I was doing it, all I could see was Tiffany Grant bouncing in her chair in an excitement. So they did a little bit of talking and, like, is there anybody got a question? Before they even finished, has anyone, Tiffany Grant, bang, first centre stage, on the mic with a question. Now, I know this sounds stupid, but my God, that was such a nice thing to see. And I don't know, she really endeared me. She was a lovely lady. She was really understanding. During one of the other ones, they had a first showing in the UK of one of her and I've completely forgotten his name. Her husband, Mr. Greenfield. They had a panel where they were showing off the first episode of their new show, and during that, nobody told me quite what this event was. So when they showed up, and I was told to go and get the DVD, I'm like, oh, I've got to set up I've got to set the projector up, and then I've got to run the DVD player through the PA system, which is something I've never actually done before, but I've learned how to do it, which is pretty cool. So I was doing all that, and I got really flustered at one point. So after the panel, I said to them, look, I'm really sorry about that. First time I've ever done this type of setup, and Tiffany Grant and Mr. Greenfield were both saying, like, don't worry, you did well. Just like these things happen, and you're doing well. So it was nice to be reassured by people whose livelihoods are dependent on their voice, to hear that my sound system, my own sound system that I'd rigged up and jimmy taped with duct tape and everything, was perfect for them. There was a few technical issues, but I can't say what was going on because I know what the problem was, but I can't say what it was. But a few technical issues, but they were sorted out eventually, so we're all good there. So that was Tiffany Grant, who like I said, I wanted to do a special mention just because she made me smile so much, and she's made me a fan, and it's made me wonder, I wonder what she's in. I'll give them a watch. So there you go, and that's a big thing. I like what I know. I will watch things once, but anime I'm kind of standoffish with. Anime is a little bit of an impenetrable fortress to me, but so I'm not normally an anime fan, but with Tiffany Grant being so nice, it's made me want to go and find out a bit more about her work. So I keep looking down because this has got to nearly 10 minutes now, so I'm going to sign off. I know I've said I'm going to talk about the other two, but I give the other two guests an episode of their own because I've got some stuff to show off and a few stories and just stupid stuff to talk to about these guests, and both of these I could probably talk for hours on end about. So I'm going to sign this episode off here, and so hopefully you'll join us next time. So join us next time on Maze Does. Goodbye.